Many golfers seem to think that making more birdies is how you can really score better. And while birdies are nice, I would argue that avoiding double bogeys and these big blow up holes is where you're really going to make up your strokes. So let's talk about a way that we can be practicing on the driving range. I only have 8 balls here. I'm going to work on 4 different shots and hit each shot twice. And these are going to be ways that you can hit recovery shots effectively so that once you're out of position, you can get back in position effectively and avoid blow up holes. Now the first shot that we're going to be looking at is the lower flighted shot. You can see my ball position is going to be a little bit further back, weight definitely on that front side, and get those hands a little bit forward. Having those hands forward is going to help de-loft that club. The lower the loft, the lower the ball flight. Keep a nice abbreviated finish on these shots. Having this lower ball flight is great for when you miss the fairway, trying to hit something lower, perhaps beneath a tree or other obstacle. So over the ball, I stand a little bit closer to it, and that one went really low. That was basically a stinger there. I may have thinned that one a little bit, but again, once you, I believe for all of these shots, I'm going to be using a 7-iron. You can, vary it. I think on the course, if I'm just trying to hit a punch a little bit lower, I'll hit a 5-iron. That rehearsal right there was just trying to get a little bit steep, get those hands just a hair more active through the ball, and then fire down into it. You see that my my finishing position is at or even a little bit below shoulder height. That's just an effective way for me to really focus on a succinct, sawed-off swing, and that's going to help me hit the ball a little bit lower. Now let's turn everything that we just talked to on its head. We're going to try and hit some higher shots. If you want to hit it over a tree or over some other obstacle, the ball is going to be further up in my stance. I like to really feel an exaggerated sense of having my shoulder line kind of come up through the ball. Now, this is a risky maneuver, I will admit it, because when you really try and pick the ball up off the ground to get it very high, you may risk really blading the ball and actually hitting it very low and probably way too far for your liking. So just be very careful with this. Also, you want that shaft to be much more neutral. You don't want those hands nearly as forward, and just try and get your hands up really high. Again, just think of all that we did to keep that ball low and do the exact opposite. Now, again, I'm hitting a 7-iron here. What I would always say is go with the club you're comfortable with. Don't really feel like you have to get after it. I'm doing these exaggerated feels and whatnot for the sake of the video, but if an 8-iron, you're kind of questioning it, hit a 9-iron or even a pitching wedge. It might be short, but you can at least get the ball over the obstacle, because there's no worse outcome than trying to hit the ball up in the air and being unsuccessful and getting stuck down. Now, before we go over the next 2 ball flights that we really need to work on in order to avoid double bogeys, if you're looking for more drills, whether it be you're working on your recovery game, your chipping, your putting, any part of your golf game, I would absolutely recommend you all download the Core Golf app. When you get the app, you take a quick quiz about how your golf is, what parts are strong, what parts are weak, and they give you a personalized practice plan. And in my plan, they told me that I need to work a little bit more on my recovery shots. So these drills are all from the Core Golf app. Now, I love all of the drills that it gives you, but another very important part of the app, and a part of the app that I love, is you track all of your analytics. If you're working on a putt drill, you track how many putts you made, how many putts you missed. It's a great way to implement analytics into your golf game, and it is for sure going to improve the way that you practice your golf. If you want 15% off your yearly subscription, click the top link of our bio to download the app and use code SGT15. Thank you so much to the Core Golf app for sponsoring this segment. Well, we got after some work on the high and the low golf shots, so now let's work on our right to left and our left to right. For all you who hook the ball, this is going to be very easy for you. So here you see I'm completely shutting down my club face. I'm really exaggerating this. Again, we're not trying to hit a little baby draw. We are trying to hook the ball around an obstacle, get it back in the fairway, whatever happened to get us out. This may be the same shot that gets us back into the fairway in order to avoid that double bogey. So I'm really trying to be under plane, meaning that I shallow out the swing through transition a ton. It's very intentional. And for me, I really like to feel my right wrist, the palm of my right hand, just really collapse at the impact position. There you see I have kind of a low, awkward follow-through, and that ball had a pretty nice hook on it. That low, awkward follow-through comes through how active your upper body has to be in order to really shut down that club face and get that hook ball flight. So here I am working once again on being super, super shallow and having that club face shut. If you do everything but your club face is open or even neutral, then you're not going to get that flight. Oh, you could kind of see that one in the clouds. That was a really good, that was a great hook. That was like a 60-yard hook. So that's just a nice shot to have if you're trying to get around something, advance the ball, perhaps away from some type of obstacle. Now, in order to get that left to right or a slice for a right-handed golfer, we want to be doing, once again, the exact opposite. So I'm going to be casting my hands out away from my body, a little bit of an open club face. And for me, I find that trying to hit this a little bit lower allows me to control that spin and really get the ball going. I'm also going to open up my stance. So that left leg for me, my front leg as a right-handed golfer, is going to be further from the ball, which will just promote that over the top swing. So there you go. Very different swing mechanic in the takeaway, and as you can notice, it's also a very different swing mechanic through the ball. That finish was much higher and a little bit over my head, kind of like an Arnold Palmer finish. That's probably the only thing that Arnold Palmer and I have in common. But just think that however you want to hook the ball, just do the exact opposite in all aspects of your game, and that is how you're going to be able to slice the ball. So I think it's a very interesting exercise to try and do all of these things back to back because they are so starkly different. So next time you're on the range, do 5 low balls, 5 high balls, 5 balls that hook, 5 balls that slice. Let me know how it goes. Thank you all very much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. As always, play well and take care.